You know how your wedding is supposed to be the happiest day of your life? A day full of flowers, laughter, promises of forever. But what if you didn't even get to choose who you married? And worse, what if they weren't even alive? Welcome to Histo Shade, where forgotten folklore, chilling rituals, and hidden histories come alive in the quietest corners of the past. Today's story is the haunting tradition of the ghost wedding, a real practice from ancient China, where love, loss, and fear collide in the space between the living and the dead. The first kind of ghost marriage was simple: two souls, both gone too soon. A matchmaker would bring their families together. Photos of the dead would be placed on the altar. Paper dolls dressed like bride and groom stood in for them. Offerings were made. Sometimes, the bride's bones were moved into the groom's grave, so they could be together forever. But then came the second kind, the living marrying the dead. Usually, it was a young woman marrying a man who had already passed away. She'd move into his home, serve as parents, remain loyal to a man she would never meet. No love, no future, just silence. Why would anyone agree to this? Sometimes, love wasn't part of the deal. Honor was, or pressure. In many Chinese families, carrying on the bloodline is sacred. If a son died without marrying, the family line ended. So, they'd find him a ghost bride, and she'd adopt a child, raise him as the son of a man who was already gone. If a daughter died unmarried, she didn't even get a proper place on the family altar. Her spirit tablet might be shoved into a corner. Or worse, she wasn't allowed to die at home. Some families quietly moved dying girls into sheds or abandoned buildings, believing her death would bring shame or bad luck. Not all ghost marriages were arranged by the living. Sometimes the dead chose. Through dreams, through hauntings, spirits would appear and say, "That's who I want to marry." And if you refused, illness, nightmares, misfortune, until the living finally gave in. By the 2000s, ghost marriages had become a business. Matchmakers were paid thousands. And then, the darkness deepened. Bodies of young women were stolen, or worse, murdered, all for a wedding no one asked for. In 2016, a girl was placed in a coffin. Everyone thought she was dead, but when the pallbearers lifted it, they heard something, a thump, a cry. She was alive, drugged, sold, about to be buried in silence. Only luck saved her, but so many others never made a sound. The scariest part of this story isn't the ghosts. It's us, the greed, the silence, the way we let tradition mask the horror. Because the real monsters aren't spirits, they're human. So what do you think? Would you marry a ghost to protect your family's name? Would you sell your child into the afterlife to stop bad luck? Sometimes the past isn't buried. Sometimes it still lingers. Thanks for watching Histo Shade. If this story gave you chills or opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and stay with me. I've got more shadows to explore.